This is the story of the Lying Libra, a dude who lied so much, y'all. He would lie about what time of day it is. He reappeared in my life with charm, may I love you sex, and promises he never kept, and left me with nothing but lies, excuses, and money he still owes me to this day. And y'all, I wish I could say I was exaggerating. I'm not. Welcome back to Sister Signs and Red Flags, the podcast where astrology ain't therapy, but girl, it's close. I'm your host, Lika, and if you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome to my show. I appreciate you for taking the time to listen in on my story time. And if you're one of my loyal listeners, I cannot express how grateful I am for you returning with each and every single upload. So, y'all, today's episode is a red flag dating story, which means story time, receipts, and a little bit of astrology sprinkled on the top. So, we ain't got no time to waste, y'all. Let's just get into it and talk about this lying ass Libra. Okay. Me and the Lion Libra, we go all the way back to middle school in 8th grade to be exact. That's when I first knew him. We were just friends. After that year, I didn't even see him again or hear from him again. But fast forward to the future, I reactivated my Facebook account and guess who popped up in my DMs, y'all? The Libra. Okay, we started talking, catching up, and that first conversation went late into the night, just like we were kids again. It was very comfortable and nostalgic. I'm not gonna lie. From the very beginning, though, I told him straight up, I was like, listen, I don't want a relationship. I was clear. I just wanted to date lightly, spend some time, and have no commitment. But girl, he pressed and pressed. And when I say press, I mean press. That's when the love bombing started fresh and hot off the presses, okay? He'd call throughout the day, just quick 2 or 3 minute check-ins to say, I'm thinking about you, have a good day. There was no real conversation, nothing too deep, and look, y'all, I get it. When you're working, you can't always talk for long. But my thing is, don't call me if the conversation can't last more than 5 minutes, okay? I'm for real. Don't do it. I don't like that shit. But then came the extras. The constant good morning, beautiful texts, the I love you messages, baby, fast and heavy. Calling me his wife. Didn't ask for that, but again, then sending me songs on YouTube like we had our own little soundtrack. The man was pressing me, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. This pressure, this stress, and he had his foot on my neck. But that's Libra energy in its charm phase, okay? It's all about partnership, love, and connection. But it felt like too much, too soon, right? And because for me, it was too much, but I caved on the pressure. Because let me tell you, baby, I started doing all the things that came natural for my Venus in Cancer and my heavy Sagittarius stellium. I became nurturing, Shalika, generous, supportive, and all of that. I showed up for the man. Let me tell you what I did, because I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I did. Got the man an air mattress, helped him get a new cell phone. I know y'all said I'm dumb, but that's okay. Paid for a hotel when his work housing fell through. And I even helped him find an RV park that would take weekly rent straight from his paycheck so he could have somewhere to stay while he worked. I brought him food, sometimes fast food, sometimes groceries. I mean, I poured into him. Like, I felt I was good, stuck on that charm. Damn. He got me good too. But, baby, the scales, they weren't balanced. Although, I didn't mind helping because ultimately that's just who I am. There were some things that occurred that really started to take the cake for me. First, it was the whole hotel deposit mess. So I fronted him the money with the promise that he'd pay me back for the hotel room deposit. But when it came time, he hit me with a story straight out of the Cousin Chronicles. Lord, he said his cousin borrowed his cash out card and accidentally took out too much money and spent part of my money. And just like that, His calls started slowing down. He wasn't answering like before. And that's when I realized he was dodging me because he owed me money. And for a couple of months, everything sort of paused. Okay, so speaking of Cash App, I have to let y'all know I was the one who helped him to set up his Cash App account, and I even created his email address for it, okay? So I literally saw the transactions when they came in or whatever. So when we reconnected that summer, he swore up and down that he didn't have his Cash App card because his cousin had it, and said he only just got into his hometown. Meanwhile, the Cash App was selling on him, baby, because it had been pinging in that same time since May, and the receipts did not match the story, because what man is letting his cousin have his Cash App card for months? But here's a more important question. Sir, why is you lying? Like, I honestly don't give a damn. And the thing he will always say is, why would I lie to you? You're not the police. Like, boy, what? Excuse me. But the straw that really brought the camel's back for me was when he slipped up one day and we were on the phone saying something about me getting off from work in a city I live nowhere near the vicinity of. And matter of fact, bitch, I work from home. So I was like, what? I work from home, you know that. But that was that moment that I decided he wasn't even, keeping up with his own lives anymore. And I ain't had time to keep up with him either. And so for me, that was it. The first big red flag that confirmed all the others for me. The ninja was mixing up stories and lying for absolutely no reason. And that's when I said, you know what, enough is enough. Baby, I told that boy, I was like, the red flags ain't six flags for me, baby. I text that man that, nice knowing you. Wish you the best. The red flag's not for me. But I started to pull back, and he tried to flip it on me. He was like, the red flags are all in your head. Now, that's classic Libra shadow. Instead of owning the lie, he acted like I was imagining things. And after that, I was done. Well, of course, like all the rest of them, baby, he wasn't, okay? So here he go, sliding into my IG DMs about another 6 months later, asked for a call, and took me out on a date. But by then, I was completely over it. There was absolutely nothing he could say or do to make me see him any differently at that point. And it was just like in a short span of 1 month window that we did reconnect, that his red flags, they started screaming yet again. And basically what happened was one day he told me he'd call me back, and he didn't. He ain't called me back, and guess what? I was okay with that. He ain't have to pick up the phone for me again. He ain't have to call my number. Matter of fact, I hope you don't even remember what it is, baby, okay? You can forget that one. So let's break down this astrology real quick. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, and harmony. Libras are the diplomats of the Zodiac. They crave connection, balance, and partnership. They want things to feel right between them and the people they care about. At their best, Libras are attentive, romantic, and thoughtful. They'll text you good morning because they genuinely want to brighten your day. They'll listen to your problems, make you laugh, and give you that feeling of ease, like you're safe with them. High vibe Libra energy is charming in the best way. It's cooperative, social, and fair. It's the type of love that says, let's talk it out, let's meet halfway. But when that same energy slips into the shadow, Libra can become all mask and no mirror. They can get so focused on keeping the appearance of peace that they'll say or do anything to avoid real conflict, even if that means lying. And that's where the red flags start showing up. Because when Libras are of balance, they don't want to look bad. They don't want to lose their grip on harmony. So instead of telling the truth, they smooth it over and they flatter, they charm, and they redirect. And that's how you end up with the love bombing. Because that was Libra's craving for partnership, turning up too high, saying I love you before even knowing me again. The pointless lies, that's the shadow side trying to keep up appearances instead of being honest. And the dodging and excuses, that was Libra's fear of confrontation, avoiding accountability because it will mess up the image of everything's fine, right? And the gaslighting, that's Libra's lowest form of balance, trying to restore peace by rewriting reality. Saying things like the red flags are all in your head instead of admitting you're right, I messed up. That's gaslighting. But here's the thing about Libra. They can grow. When they face themselves and stop hiding behind the mask, they become incredible partners. Balanced Libra energy knows how to see both sides, communicate clearly, and create peace without pretending. The high side of Libra is beautiful. It's the energy of grace, fairness, and partnership rooted in truth. And as for me, I learned to recognize when the scales are off and to stop trying to balance what was never mutual. What's the point? So, here's what we learned today, class. If a man is lying about what time of day it is just go home. If he's blaming cousins and cash out cards for missing money, that's not partnership. And if the scales never balances, if you're doing all the giving while he's doing all the taking, baby, that's not Libra love, that's Libra lies. And to this day, y'all, this man still owe me money, but baby, you know what? I just consider it tuition, payment for the lesson. Thank you. Thank you. So thanks so much for tuning in to Sister Signs and Red Flags. If you enjoyed this episode, baby, share it, follow, and leave a review so more people can find me. And until next time, you guys, stay cute, stay pretty, and be safe out there. Bye. He said he left his phone in his boss's car and did not have his phone for a whole weekend. For a whole weekend now. Who you know out there living without their phone for a whole weekend? And the other part was, got your phone for a whole weekend, but you showing up as active on Facebook Messenger and you reading my messages to you, but you not responding. Come on now, let's get for real. You know you tell this dude you lying. And that's what I'm saying, like, why is you even lying? Because I wasn't even tripping. You left your phone in somebody else's car for a whole weekend. Okay, good night. Different lies and love bombs. A red flag day story. The ninja was mentioned on. Wait, that's backwards. Bye. 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 Bye.